Welcome to Marriage and Relationship Today with Judith Daniel Imaguro. Today I'll be talking on keys to bring out the best in your spouse. And this teaching is going to be in 3 parts. So we're going to be taking the first part today. And if you happen to be listening to the first part, you can get the other parts through my Facebook or my YouTube account. There is a popular saying that what will be, will be. And this statement might be responsible for a lot of life failure. It is not what will be that will be. It is what we make be that be. I believe in miracles. I've seen a lot of miracles in my life. But I want you to know that God has given us the ability to make miracles happen. So meaning that if you deliberately work at anything, then a miracle will come out of it. And marriage and relationship is not an exception to this. Good marriage takes deliberate work, and good relationship also take deliberate work. Relationships don't fail by chance. Also, relationships don't succeed by chance. It takes hard work. Meaning that you have to make some sacrifices. It means that you have to be deliberate about some things. It means that you have to be conscious of what you do and what you say. It takes hard work. The word of God says, a slothful hand maketh poor. So people who are lazy also end up with poor relationships. So I'm going to be sharing some secret with you on how to bring out the best out of your spouse. Number 1, believe the best in your spouse. The art of believing have a way of taking your attention or drawing to you the things that you're believing for. So if you are believing the best and hoping for the best in your relationship, that's what will come to you. Because that's what you're hoping for, that's what you're believing for. And always remember, the first thing that brought you and your spouse together is love. Sometimes even the things that people are complaining about in their relationship is not born out of wrong intentions. Some of them are out of right intention. Always keep that in your mind, that when things happen between you and your spouse, it's not always because they hate you or they want to do you wrong. It may appear to you that way, but that might not be their intention. I remember I spoke with a couple that was married for 30 years, and they were sharing with me the challenges they had in the early stage of their marriage. And the wife said the husband was cheating at a point, and that makes her to just keep nagging him. You know, there was never peace in that home. And that's not because she hated him, but it was because she actually loved him. So the husband told me that one day it was so much that he had to move out of the house because he was looking for peace. But while he was by himself one day, he thought to himself that this woman is not nagging me because she hates me. She actually wants me to herself. He told me that that thought was what made him to return back home and stop what he was doing that was not healthy for that family. So sometimes what your spouse does is not born out of hatred, but love. And the way to bring out the best in your spouse is to love like God loves. When God loves, He hopes for the best. He expects the best. He thinks of the best. He's always hopeful. Your spouse may have behaved in a certain way in the past that you hate, but don't always carry that mindset. Oh, he's at it again. Oh, she's at it again. No, you have to always believe in the best. And when you keep hoping and loving that way, and that's what you will see. Always believe the best in your spouse. Also, the best way to do that is to begin to thank God for the fruit of the Spirit. What do I mean? Begin to thank God for the things that you hope for. I remember I was counseling a couple about 2 years ago, and in one of the sections, I told them, write down the qualities that you want in your spouse. And the next time we were talking, I made them read out their desires. And the husband read it to her hearing, and the wife read it to his hearing. And I told them, go back and begin to thank God for those qualities. So begin to like, Lord, I thank you for the gift of the Spirit. I thank you for the spirit of joy you've given my spouse. I thank you for the spirit of peace. They may be troublesome right now, but begin to thank God for the peace that you expect. That's hoping for the best. I thank you for the spirit of meekness. I thank you for the wise spirit that you have given my spouse. I thank you for the gift of this, for the gift of that. Everything that you want. I thank you for the gift of generosity that you've given my spouse. I thank you for the ability for him to speak wisely. Everything you desire, begin to thank God for it. You know what I've noticed? There is nothing you thank God for that can depreciate. And in less than 1 month, there was a miracle in their home. It was so dramatic. It was a huge miracle. Both of them came back and like, wow, there is so much peace in our home. There is so much, everything we desire for, we are beginning to see. Why? Because they took time to work out that miracle in their home. When I just got married, there were some things that I was desiring in my marriage that was not there as at that time. And I could remember I had a conversation with God, and I heard God told me clearly, I am the best matchmaker in the world. Because before I got married, I had asked God, and he told me yes. So when I was seeing things that I would have loved in my marriage, I went back to him and he said, I am the best matchmaker in the world. And he laid in my heart to begin to thank him for everything that I want in my marriage. So as I begin to thank God for those things, one after the other, gradually, I started seeing the things that I desire. And today, my family is burning for Jesus, and everything that I wanted is now my reality. And because of that experience, all the people that have taught the secret, I have seen it work for them, and it will work for you too. Write down those qualities that you want in your spouse and begin to thank God for those qualities day after day, and soon it will become your reality. Secret number 2, refill your spouse's emotional bank. Learn to take every day as a fresh day. Yesterday affirmation is only a foundation for today. It's not enough for today. Just like you ate yesterday and your body just needs food today. That's how our emotions are too. You affirmed your spouse yesterday and you have to do that today. Every day, look for a love word for your spouse. Some people have stopped affirming their spouse altogether. And when you ask them, they say, oh, she knows I love her. No, you have to tell her every day. Let your spouse know that you still feel the same way for them. Tell them, though we disagree, I love you. It is not a hard thing to do. It's simple, and you will see the miracle in your home. Just telling her how much you love her, telling him how handsome he is, telling him how hardworking he is, how a faithful husband he is, how you so admire her, how he is the best husband the world can produce, and you will see the miracle in your home. I remember what a certain man shared with me, though what he's doing is so wrong, but I learned something from him. He told me, if they show my wife the video clip of my intimate moment with other women, she will swear it's not me. Then I was concerned. I said, why is that? He said, because the energy you get is what you give. So when he's with other women, he's so romantic, he pays so much attention, there is so much energy, and he doesn't do it at home. And I was asking him why. He said, because my wife does not give me such energy. So it is what you give that you get. Why am I sharing this with you? If you start affirming your spouse every day, that's the same thing they will do to you. It is what you give that you get back. So if you sow the seed of love, if you sow the words of affirmation, the words of love, the words of appreciation, that's what your spouse will give back to you. So your spouse emotional bank need refilling every day. Secret number 3, commitment. Commitment is a decision you make to yourself to be committed to a cause. There is nothing that can succeed without commitment. Anything you're not committed to will die. It's only a matter of time. You have to learn to be committed to your marriage or your relationship. You have to deliberately say to yourself, no matter what happened, my marriage will not fail. Anything you're committed to, you put your all in it. You make sure it works. And commitment comes with sacrifice. And there is nothing you sacrifice for that does not come back to you. It's a law. The law of sacrifice says anything you sacrifice, it comes back to you in many more folds. For instance, Jesus Christ came thousands of years ago to sacrifice himself for us. Till tomorrow, he's still reaping reward. If you will take your time to begin to make sacrifices in your marriage as a result of commitment, I tell you, there is a guarantee for 100-fold return, because that is how the law of sacrifice works. Be committed to your marriage. I remember sharing an experience of a woman that I counseled. As at the time I was talking to her, she had a very troubled home. But she made a commitment to stick to her marriage. She told me, he said, no matter what happened, I don't want to leave my husband. He said, my mother was divorced. My grandmother was divorced. And I know what I went through as a child. I do not want to put my children through what I went through. So because of that, I am committed to make my marriage work. That's how she found me. Commitment made her to begin to search people that she could talk to that can help her marriage out. After several years, she's still together with her husband and is a whole lot better than it was when they started. Commitment is one of the best ways to bring out the best out of your spouse. Out of commitment, it speaks. It has a language, and people are able to notice when you're committed. So any spouse you're committed to, you do not lose. Thank you for listening. God bless.